afternoon, and thanks for joining us. I'm Judy Simpson. It's the first Thursday of the month, which means we're in the kitchen with Across the Fence. We get some wonderful letters from our loyal viewers, and this one we just had to share. It comes from Dorothy Della Venere from Rutland, responding to last month's show. Dorothy writes, I'm 91 and was not going to send for more recipes, but lemons, strawberries, blueberries, pound cake, thoughts of, oh, you can do a couple more recipes came to mind. So here's my order. I do love the Across the Fence cooking show. Well, thanks, Dorothy, and many loyal viewers. We do read and appreciate all of your cards and notes. Well, now it's my pleasure to announce the winner of the free drawing for last month, the 328-page gluten-free cookbook published by America's Test Kitchen. The lucky winner is Jane Levesque from Ripton, Vermont. Congratulations, Jane. You'll receive your cookbook in the mail any day now. And now let's turn to our chefs. They are Carolyn Peak from Williamstown, along with Deb Plumley and Lynn Jarvis from South Hero. And they have prepared 16 different recipes that all feature ingredients that are locally grown. Great topic, of course, for this time of year. So, Deb, let's get us started.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And we are so lucky to live in this area where we have the abundance of fresh fruits and vegetables you can find in the grocery store, your local farm stand. So I'm going to start with one of my favorites, which are the tomato. And I'm going to just tilt it up a little bit here. This is a creamy tomato basil soup. And it's a great way to enjoy garden fresh tomatoes. And it's way, way better than a canned soup. So you start with tossing your tomatoes with some olive oil and crushed garlic, and you're going to put this in the oven to roast. And while that is roasting, to bring out the flavors of the tomatoes, you're going to saute some onions and peppers and potatoes. And the potatoes are going to give a creaminess to this soup. When that's done, you're going to add some chicken stock or vegetable broth. By then, your tomatoes will be done, so you just pour those in. I think you can see how easy this is. I take my stick blender, or some people call it an immersion blender, and that's what I use to get it nice and creamy. And then add some fresh basil, a little salt and pepper, and you've got a wonderful light summer meal. Now, what goes better with soup than bread? And my family often teases me that in my mind there's two food groups. There's bread and bacon. And we'll get to the bacon in just a moment. So I've got a little piece of the bread here, so we're going to tilt this up while I talk about it. This uses fresh herbs. You can find many, again, probably in your own garden. This one uses some dill, parsley, thyme, rosemary, whatever your favorite is. You chop those herbs up and put them in olive oil and just let that sit while you prepare your bread batter. The bread batter is super easy. It's flour, salt, baking powder, baking soda. It's enriched with eggs, shredded cheddar cheese, and buttermilk. You pour the batter in the pan and you swirl the herb-infused oil throughout it and then bake it. Oh, and your kitchen smells wonderful. This is great warm. You can also toast it if you're having it the next day. Now, let's talk about corn. The corn season hopefully will get underway fairly soon. This is called a cowboy corn casserole. It features corn that you cut off the cob. It's baked in a creamy sauce with cream cheese, heavy cream. The flavorings are garlic powder, paprika, salt, and pepper. You put in a generous amount of shredded cheese, and this is the bacon piece, crumbled cooked bacon. As you can see, this just makes a wonderful looking casserole. It goes together easily, bakes in about 20 minutes. Your kids will love it. If you bring this to a potluck, I guarantee you this dish will come home empty. Now, I haven't done much with fruit, so let's talk about one of my favorites, which are blueberries. And our loyal viewer, Liz Pecor from Moncton, Vermont, shares her recipe for this super easy blueberry sauce. And I have to say, it's probably one of the tastiest and easiest sauces that I've ever made. You start with a base, which is just water, sugar, cornstarch, a dash of salt, and some lemon juice. And the lemon juice is really important because that's going to bring out the flavor of the blueberries. You add a cup of blueberries and just cook it until it gets nice and thick. And I'm pouring this over some homemade strawberry ice cream. You want to talk about 2 great summer flavors. So I hope you folks will give this a try. And I want to thank Liz for sharing this with us today. And I'm going to turn this over to Carolyn. And Carolyn, I know I say this many times, I am always in awe of your ability to bring a crock pot in no matter what our cooking segment is.
You know, I was just thinking when you were talking about the ice cream and blueberries and stuff, and you said, I'm going to bring Carolyn in, and I was going to say, yeah, and Carolyn's going to go back out. You can talk about mine.
Well, I will let you get started.
Okay. Well, my first recipe this morning is my viewer recipe. And actually, the lady's, she's not really a viewer because she lives up in Canada. It's Louise Peters from East Royalty, Prince Edward Island. And we have gotten to be good friends with her and her husband. This is a cheese potato pie. And it's made in layers. You cook your potatoes, you mash them, and then you have onions and a fish of some sort, tuna fish or salmon, whichever you like, and you put that in, mix it with the potatoes, and then you put a layer of potatoes in the bottom. You put you've cooked 4 eggs, hard-boiled 4 eggs, and I did it so that you can see them on this, you can sort of see them laying in there. And then you put the rest of the potato on top, some cheese on top of that, and bake it. And you've got this wonderful potato casserole. And she said that that was what her mother used to make quite often when they were growing up. So, and she's going to get to watch this because a friend has a computer and is going to show her. My next recipe is Italian-style veggie wraps. Now, these do have some meat in them, but if you wanted just a vegetarian one, you could do it with that. It has zucchinis and provolone cheese, broccoli, tomatoes, just all kinds of things that kind of make you think Italian. And you just roll them up. You put a lettuce leaf on the bottom, roll the things up with the mix inside, and you've got a really nice thing that you can just sort of pick it up, and I'd suggest taking it outdoors in case it crumbles, but you've got a nice carry out sort of a meal. Next I have, it's called no mayo broccoli salad with blueberries and apple. And it also has things like some red onion and some cranberries and sunflower seeds. And it's just, everything is all chopped up. I went out to my little blueberry garden when I was making this and picked some blueberries for it. The dressing is made with yogurt, so it's not a regular mayonnaise dressing. Again, very easy to put together. Now, I have in my crock pot, see if I can get this up out of there, it's called Slow Cooker Squash and Cornbread Casserole. And I made this special because Lynn likes cornbread. So I hope he likes summer squash too. There's a can of cream of mushroom soup, some carrots and corn, and then you've mixed the yellow squash in with it, and then you just put the whole thing into your slow cooker and make it, let it cook for 5 hours, and you've got a nice, side dish, main dish, whatever you want. My other viewer recipe is from Greta Crandall of Peru, Vermont, and this is a rhubarb crisp. And I just thought that would be really nice. I know my rhubarb is dying back, but I can still get some of it. You could make that up very easily and then put maybe some ice cream or some whipped cream. I noticed nobody brought that today. Usually there's somebody that has them. But anyway, you can have a real good meal with all kinds of good stuff here.
Well, thank you so much.
Yes.
It looks delicious.
Your
Thank
turn.
you. Quick announcement on Thursday, August 21, I'm going to take you on another travel adventure to Iowa, Kansas, and Nebraska. That'll complete my visit to all 50 states. Some very interesting things out there. So when people tell you there's nothing to see out there, don't believe them. Well, now I'm going to begin with my main dish, and it's right here. It's a barbecued pork chop supper. And it's a main dish with pork, red potatoes, carrots that are combined with barbecue sauce, ketchup, and the surprise ingredient is a cup of Coca-Cola, and it's all combined, Carolyn, in a crock pot, and you cook it on low for about 8 or 9 hours, and you have this delicious meal, and I hope you'll give it a try. We're all looking forward to digging into it just as soon as the show is over. Now, to go with this, I have a very tasty salad. It's something that's very easy to make. It's right here. It's my broccoli raisin salad. Very good. The broccoli is mixed with bacon, raisins, and onion, as you can see, and flavored with mayonnaise, sugar, and a little vinegar. And the good thing about this is it keeps up to 3 days in the refrigerator. So if you're cooking for a family or friends for a party, it'll keep for a couple of days. Or if you're cooking for 1 or 2, you can enjoy it for up to 3 days in the fridge. So I hope you'll give this a try, a broccoli raisin salad. Now, I also made a recipe with rhubarb that I got from my neighbors again, and it's this one in the beginning. It's rhubarb custard bars, and it's made in 3 easy steps. First, you make the dough in a 13 by 9-inch pan, and then cook it for about 10 minutes till that crust is set. Then the filling is made with sugar, flour, eggs, and chopped rhubarb. And as you can see, it's topped with a mixture of cream cheese, vanilla, and whipped cream. And doesn't that look yummy? And I'm sure everybody is going to enjoy this, whether it's at home or a party or a picnic. And now moving to the next one, it's my zucchini bars. It's a viewer recipe from Joyce Humphrey of East Burke. She's one of our loyal viewers. Again, they're easy to make. Everything goes in the same baking dish. And it's grated zucchini, sugar, eggs, and a combination of, listen to this, coconut, dates, raisins, and chopped nuts. Joyce says you can use 1 or 2 of those if you wish, but I put in the whole batch so you could really taste what these bars are all about. They're really nice, and I think you'll enjoy those. People say they don't care for zucchini. I think they'll enjoy these. Now, blueberries are in season, and I have a picture picking blueberries in my side yard. They're beautiful, sweet, and juicy this time of year. You can just take a look at them. So I decided to make a couple of recipes using my blueberries, and this first one is my blueberry molasses cake. Now, you'll be surprised how well the blueberry molasses flavor works together. And it's easy to make using the standard cake ingredients, and they're all mixed together and baked in an 8 by 8-inch pan. And you can glaze it with confectionery sugar if you wish, but I opted not to, so you can get that real flavor of the blueberries and molasses that works so well together. Now, my last recipe, I think, is the most elegant one, a little harder to make. It's this snow-capped blueberry lemon roll. And not only is it appealing, but it's not all that hard to make in 3 easy steps. First, you make your cake in a jelly roll pan, and then you let it cool. Then you spread on your lemon and blueberry filling, and finally cover it with a meringue that you can see here. And it is just delicious. And Judy, I think that you would probably enjoy a slice of this. And it was actually a first place winner at the Blueberry Festival in Machias, Maine a few years back.
It looks delicious.
It is.
Fantastic. I also, too, want to mention that we have a note now. You talked about your upcoming travel show.
Yeah.
And we need to make a little bit of a correction on that.
Okay.
There's a different, I think we have the correct date here.
Monday, August 21st.
Okay,
I
good.
forget what I said, but anyway.
Well, as always, these are great recipes, and there are a couple of different ways that you can get them. You can go online to the Across the Fence website, go to uvm.edu/extension, and click on the link to Across the Fence. You'll find the recipes on the left-hand side of the webpage. To get the recipes by mail, send $2 and a stamped self-addressed business envelope to Locally Grown, Box 188, South Hero, Vermont 05486. And please remember to include $2 and a stamped self-addressed envelope. That address again is Locally Grown, Box 188, South Hero, Vermont. And as we close out today's program, a reminder to shop at your local markets and farm stands to get the freshest produce picked right from Vermont Gardens and Fields. Our chefs will be back September 7th with a new set of In the Kitchen recipes that we think you'll enjoy. We've entitled the show Our Family Favorites. Can't wait for that. I'm Judy Simpson. We'll see you again next time on Across the Fence.